Do you ever feel like this in life? Like you're trying to keep everything balanced so it won't come crashing down? You know, today we're talking about thick and thin. How to be all there during tough times, because most of life is stressful. There are problems and there are difficulties constantly coming at us, and we're always trying to keep everything balanced. And it's really almost impossible, isn't it, Chris?
It really is. We feel like we're constantly being stretched and pulled and trying to please everyone. And really, that's the problem, and it's also the secret. Because when we're trying to please everyone, we end up with no one being pleased, and we feel devalued ourselves and discouraged and frustrated. But when we try to please just one, just please the Lord, then somehow everything else falls into place.
And the only way you can really be all there during tough times is first you've got to realize there will always be tough times. I remember early on in our marriage, we used to think, when things settle down, everything will be great. When we get through this problem, everything will be great. Right now, it's just crazy. We're trying to balance all this stuff. But really, that's the way life is. Things never really settle down. And so you have to learn to really connect and be all there during life, or right in the middle of difficulties. And sometimes problems come into your life that are the big ones, that just kind of give you that gut punch, and send you to your knees. And that's part of life too. That's going to happen in life. I wish I could tell you that you'll never have difficulties, that you'll never have pain, you'll never have tragedy, you'll never have problems, you'll never have grief, but it's just not that way. We're not in heaven yet. Heaven's a perfect place, but this is a very imperfect world and a broken world. And so there'll be times you go through difficulties. But that's why it's so important to stay together and stay committed, because the floods of life will come and the waters will rise and the waters will recede. And the only question will be, will you still be together, or will the waters tear you apart? I know for Chris and I, one of the things that we're always aware of is our stress levels, because we have these stress levels, and many times they're pretty high because we lead very busy lives. And when my stress level is kind of overflowing, Chris is always looking to kind of lighten my load and to be there for me and to, just be encouraging to me, to meet my needs. And then when her stress level is overflowing, then I look and try to help her and lighten her load. The problem is when both of ours are overflowing. That's a lot of times when we take it out on each other. But what we're learning to do more and more, instead of take it out on each other, is take it to the Lord. Take it to God and say, God, I'm stressed. I can't do this without you. I need your power to love. If I'm going to have love at last sight, you're going to have to love through me. And if you can come together and pray as a couple, that's an amazing thing. And you don't have to be an expert at prayer. Just talk to God together. God, thank you for what you're doing in our lives. Help us with what we're going through. We need you.
And you can do the same thing with your friends. If it's a friendship relationship, you can pray together. Mm-hmm. If it's a relationship with your kids, you can pray together. That may feel awkward at first, but there's no better time to start than today. And believe me, your kids will love that. They'll find something deep in that, because they'll realize that you're turning to someone else. See, our kids get to an age where they realize that mom and dad aren't Superman and Superwoman, that they have faults and flaws. And it's very reassuring to kids to let them know that, hey, I don't have all the answers as your parent, but I know who does, and we're going to turn to him together. And you'll find that it really brings you together in that relationship. The same goes for friendships and other relationships. Together, turn to the Lord. The Bible says that a cord of 3 strands isn't easily broken. And with you and that key person that you love in the Lord, that is a cord that will not easily be broken. And it can be so much stronger. You may feel very fragile right now. You may feel like your relationships are frayed and your nerves are frayed and you don't know how you're going to make it through the day or the week, let alone start building something strong and beautiful in your relationships in your life. But this is the starting place. And so Carrie and I really want to encourage you that through thick and thin, He's always there for you. We are promised we'll always have problems in this life until we get to heaven, but we're also promised that He will never leave us. The Bible says that He will never leave you and never forsake you. Jesus is always right there, just waiting for you to talk to Him.
So don't take it out on each other, but talk it out with each other, and then take it to God. We'll see you tomorrow.